Hello, everybody. This is Debo with Debo's Film Reviews, and this week's review will be Red Dawn, and I mean the good one from 1984, not that crappy one from 2012. Although I might as well just review that as well, because in comparison, the action scenes in the remake were okay, but that was about it. Hemsworth, you're a good as four, but you just did not fit the part of Jed Eckert like Swayze did. Same with Josh Peck as Matt Eckert, but because in terms of the remake, action was pretty much the only highlight of the movie, and the only edge was like the scene of the the first deer scene, and the Eckert brothers taunt their buddy who's with you got to drink the blood, yeah, because in the remake they were like up, and they just laughed and snickered at the guy, saying you literally fell for that, and in the original they were like you become one with nature. But yeah, I'd say the original cast was more fitting, where it was with Swayze, Charlie Sheen, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Jennifer Grey, alongside Lane Smith, and as Daryl's dad, the mayor, and of course with Powers Booth as Tanner, because that's pretty much that and Tombstone. Like I say, is some of his most standout work, or should I say was, especially with Ron O'Neal, best known for Superfly as Colonel Bella. The Cuban operative, because in the original it was Russians and Cubans, which Bella was the only Cuban seen, but there was talk, there was talks in there. And I gotta say, original Red Dawn masterpiece. Red Dawn remake, dumpster fire. I mean, I gotta say, it made sense with the next go around being North Korea, because there was originally supposed to be China, but Hollywood got kind of, yeah, we kind of just does not go there, because yeah, if you know, you know. But back to the movie, I'd say another edge was, beginning with like a chase scene with where Eric Brothers and some characters in a blue ram compared to the blue Silverado Swayze had in the first in the original, and John Milius did a damn good job directing the remake. I meant the original, of course. Don't know why I almost said remake, because the original was absolutely fitting, especially because how one in the '80s movie logic, one of the more comic villain tropes was 9 times out of ten it was usually the Russians and all. And I mean the '80s was the heavy, heavy on the Cold War propaganda. I mean, this is a prime example, and of course, kind of fitting into that I review it around in July, because this is one of the original Red Dawn is probably one of the more patriotic movies to watch. It even has reference to Longest Day, which with the French resistance codes of Chair Against the Wall and John Has a Long Mustache. Can't really say which one's meaning to which right now, but that's an excellent Easter egg, and Also noticing how John Milius always was always one of them directors that always used his people that had his people, because like how the Eckert brothers had Harry Dean Stanton as their dad, which is about one of the only few times that Charlie Sheen and Harry Dean Stanton worked with each other, because Harry Dean did a cameo on a guest star on a 2.5 minute episode, and I'd say perfectly cast, along with Frank McRae as the teacher, who was the first to die in the original. It was just like teaching history class, and then the Russian paratroopers laying down, and of course, but I was supposed to say, and then Cary Sedero was the traitor, because he supposedly got caught. I'll say original actor, pretty good job. Connor Cruise was just riding off his dad Tom Cruise's legacy, because yeah, he ain't the big name his dad is, because being on the know for that movie, Connor Cruise that is. I mean, I give you, I look at you might have potential in the future, but you sucked in Red Dawn. But at least in the remake, they let your character live, while in the original course, he got the firing squad with a Russian later on in the movie, because after in the original, Tanner dies, which was kind of fitting, because was odd, cause unlike the remake where Eckert dies halfway, and we'll talk about some miscasting in the remake with Josh Peck as Matt Eckert, and I'm just like, jeez, dude. I mean, I liked you on the Nickelodeon shows back growing up, but you did not make it. You suck trying to be an action star, and that's saying something, because I usually, because that's a low bar to be below, and man, but at least with the original remake, I meant the remake. I got. I was thinking that scene where Hemsworth Eckert dies in one scene, and I'm just like, oof, man. Talking about North Korea did one thing the Frost Giants couldn't do, and that was take down Loki. I'm at 4. Sorry for the mix-up. I was brain farting lately, and man. But I can say, remake Red Dawn 1 star. I mean a definite 1 out of 5. Back now, that's done with that. Now let's stick to the original Red Dawn. I gotta say, back to John Milius using his people. I gotta say, it was a perfect choice to direct that movie. I gotta say, definitely perfect, because he was pretty much one of the few, was a rare Hollywood conservative back in them days. Not that this channel endorses political views or anything, but you kind of notice a pattern regardless of how Tinseltown is. And of course, with back to John Milius being a director that's known for using his people, I'll say Frank McRae and Roy Jensen, who played, I think it was some guy, Morris's dad or something like that. Yeah, because, and of course with Ben Johnson, who was also a freaking collaborator of Milius as Mason, just survivalist, little country boy, just had a little farmhouse at the border of the occupied territory, and oof, and talk about a lot of epic action scenes, from like the surprise attack on the tanks to the liberation of the prisoners, and the old liberation of prison camps, and then which helped build up their resistance. The acting chemistry between Leah Thompson and Powers Boothe as Tanner and Tone, and one of the Mason granddaughters, and then of course beginning the movie where the chase through town after getting. And I also want to mention about how Ron O'Neal played an excellent villain, although they at the end they both let him live, and while after Charlie Sheen's character Mad Actor dies, and then dies in his arm, and then in the old final showdown, they take down the Russian leaders and in a suicide mission, and oof. And of course the exposition with the story of Partisan Rock, and of course in the national park takedown of some Russians where they use bows and arrows on them, and then of course Jed Eckert Swayze version with the Colt Peacemaker shooter, because later in backstory in the beginning of the movie he learned about survival skills, and talking about how he's named after Jedediah Smith and how he read up a lot of Jim Bridger and all that, and Swayze and Sheen being country boys and all. Man, I gotta say, the original Red Dawn is a damn good 5 out of 5 compared to the dumpster fire of a remake. I mean, I do not recommend the remake. I mean, the remake would have been better if it was R-rated, unlike PG-13 actually fitted for the original. Matter of fact, it was the first PG-13 movie. But action movies now, it got high expectations to where, unless it's like Bond or superheroes, are all the way. Especially superpowered superheroes, not gunslingers. I hope you all enjoyed my review. Subscribe. Link up, hit me some suggestions, and I'll get to them.